like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
What? 3-15. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Good job right there. 36 to my side.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson escaping the pressure right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
What? 15. Line 36. Tackles.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
What? 190. 48 months. And let's get this.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
For another Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
What? 280. Hey, they're scared. 6 guys. Touch 50. Got it.
Now Wilson on 1st down. It's caught. Block it. It's a gain of 12. 1st down Seahawks. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On first down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From the shotgun, Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Check 0.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Wilson will throw again. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. And Myers able to knock it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 3rd down, Jackson forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On the delay, here's Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. 1st down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
13 yards on the play.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Fine, Madden. Check, 48's the mic. Switch up, switch up. Hey, alert. Check safety.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 27, Wilson. Got him in. It's Brown.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Check three. Hey, look. Line 36. Line 36. You must be dreaming.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's a gain of 3. First down, Baltimore.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ingram again, a first down carry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now Wilson operating from the gun. And an alley to run. Big hold of the 30. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, 1st-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Ingram. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. The quick slant caught. He is putting on a show in this 2nd quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the pass.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. 2nd and goal from the 1. And again, it's Ingram. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Wilson defers to Penny here on the draw. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He was brought down by Marcus Peters. A 6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4 at their 48-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
I'll go special. I'll go special. Hey, defense, let's go.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. He uncorks it for Snead. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Jackson to throw on 3rd down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And The Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. 25. Let's go. Come on.
Throwing is Jackson. It's complete to Chris Conley. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Wilson steps away to his left. He's going to look deep for more, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long.
36 power. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Here's Wilson operating from the gun. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to get the ground game going with Ingram. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Mike's 49. All day, every day, any day.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson, he's going deep for Bryant. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is now 17-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57, Mike, 57. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
Hey, let's get in them holes. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Wants to run. They're running it.
Operating from the gun. Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
12. Check 43.
From the gun, Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
2 times. Hey. We got 3. 3 down.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Not today, you are. 18. Mike, 36. Watch the screen.
Wilson operating from the gun. Dancing to his left. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. In your face.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah. Well, there was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 1st touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. And, you know, you and I praise tight ends in today's game a lot for being just like a bigger-bodied wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end position to catch the football and get what they got on the catch. And now it's the run after the catch that makes them so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
Man, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
36. Line 36. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 19.
36. Line 36.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
36. 36 to Mike. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
After allowing that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, it's Ingram. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
49 to Mike. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He gets it to Brown, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the...
Ingram churning. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
14. Go.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
36 to Mike. Yo.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, Ingram finding some room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Safety's creeping.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Jackson. And able to find Conley.
Let's go. Let's do it. A gain of 19 yards. First down, Ravens.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
At the 46-yard line.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Ingram again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
To throw is Jackson, forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline. Talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Jackson will keep it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. A gain there of 21 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Stay with your man.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
Back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Run left, run left.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
We got three, fellas, we got 3. 5:36, 5:36. I'm going to come back to you.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Wilson to throw. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.